Welcome back. So, we had quite the nice giveaway this week. Again, thank you to all that have participated and that joined me on my first ever live stream. I've participated in others, but it's the first time I put it together. And obviously, it was a spur of the moment type of thing. Just because I wanted to have some fun and make that live. So, hopefully, I'll have a better idea of what I'm doing next time. But for now, I'm going to go over a small pile of purchases. These actually were over quite a long length of time, but mail in Philadelphia is horrendous right now. So trying to get anything in some expedited fashion is not happening. So everything got piled up at the distribution center, and everything, just got to me kind of at the same time. So really, we're looking at about 3 weeks worth of various purchases. I've had other stuff trickle in, but some of these I've been waiting for. Starting off with this very large 11 by 18 Ralph Kiner signed photo with PSA authentication. I may get rid of that. It's just a large item. And then with a JSA letter, of course, what would my videos be without a nice Hank Greenberg auto? And supposedly Jeffrey received this one. So that'll go into the Greenberg collection along with the letter of authentication. So those are the big ones, or the big items. So put those aside. Let me zoom in a little bit. You're better. Got stuff peeking through. So we got Al Rosen and Al Rosen. But we're actually going to start with... we'll start with one stack or another. We'll start with this stack, just because I feel like being different. So this is a card that was missing from my Rosen run. Kind of missing. I have one that's signed, and now I actually have just a regular unsigned one. Found it in a PSA 5 for a very reasonable price, so picked that up. It's one of the classic cards from the 1950s. Just wonderful design on that. And that was an eBay purchase. And now, a couple of Facebook purchases. So, Kurt Simmons is more well known in Philadelphia circles for the 1950 Whiz Kids. Also served in the Korean War. 1950 Bowman is his rookie card. And this was listed on Facebook for $8. So I figured, what the heck? Yes, it's miscut. Probably one of the worst miscut cards I've seen for 50 Bowman, but it was $8, and I got this on top of this card, 1948 Bowman Ralph Kiner rookie card and a PSA 2, and this is actually a very, very nice PSA 2. Okay, the camera won't focus, but it is a very nice card. So a really nice example of the Kiner rookie for $50. I jumped all over it when I saw it. Thankfully, I saw the listing or the post shortly after it was put up, so I was able to jump on those two. So not a huge purchase, but it was a fun one. Also, speaking of not huge purchases, this is Harry Chosen. Played for the Cincinnati Reds for one at bat. It's part of the Jewish Players, Major Leaguers PC. I've gone over his story before, and that he was the best minor league player in baseball, but because of some anti-Semitic views with the Cincinnati Reds, he was never called up until they had to towards the tail end of the season, and even then, they only give him one at bat. And now we also have Phil Weintraub, another one of the Jewish players for the PC. There's nice, inexpensive, well, nice cheap slab, generic inscription, nice signature on it. Supposedly the person got it in '65, and his debut in 1933. So that is that particular stack. It's a nice little variety of vintage and autos. And this is a mishmash, if you will. I'll get a little bit closer because we're dealing with smaller slabs here. So starting off, sweet spot signature, Al Rosen. I don't really go for a lot of these because a lot of times the auto has faded, but usually ballpoint survives pretty well. And this is from 2005. But still a great design. It's just, didn't think the longevity of some of the cards. I've seen Koufax in particular where the signature is basically gone from the baseball. But the Rosen looks very nice, very strong. I was happy to add that for very little money. Next up, a little obscure piece for me. Abba Eban, who is Prime Minister of Israel. So, inexpensive part of buying the index cards. The seller all said this. So, made an inexpensive offer on it for it to add it to the Jews PC Beyond Baseball. So, it's another nice ad. This one you've seen before, but I managed to find another one for really inexpensive. So, especially with Project 2020 concluding, there seems to be a lot of people that have come on in as of late. So picking up the Ermsey Koufax Companion, signed, numbered to 50, for under $100. I figured I'd add one while I still can. So another Project 2020 addition to the Koufax run. This is a card you've seen kind of before. This is an Upper Deck Rare Remnants Triple Relic from Upper Deck Premier in 2007. And you have Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, and Hank Greenberg. So Greenberg and Fox, you have bat pieces. Gehrig, you have a jersey piece, and there's a tiny, like ever so slight bit of pinstripe right there. You've seen similar cards. This one is the version numbered to 10. And this was a buy it now or best offer situation, and the buy it now was already a lot lower than it should have been, but I still made a best offer and got a little bit more off of it, on it. So this was under $100 card, which is pretty darn good for these types of relics. Next up, we have the 1941 double play Harry Danning, Cliff Melton. I actually did not have this card in the Danning collection, so I figured I would jump on this while I saw it for very, very cheap. Not a big card, not huge names, but Danning was a multi-time all-star catcher for the Giants, a well-known Jewish player in his time. Unfortunately, he seems to be forgotten in the history of the game. Next up, now this is an interesting one. This is not a usual one that I pick up, but Kid Kaplan was a Jewish boxer in the early 20th century. So this is a 1928 strip card, hand cut. At this point, he was a retired featherweight champion. But the interesting thing with this, it was very, very inexpensive to start, but you just don't see strip cards in a 7. Crazy, crazy high grade. I think there's only one graded higher than this, and there's only one graded a 7. So this would be number 2, I guess, when it comes to the grades for this particular card. And for the nominal amount I paid for it, and when I say nominal, I mean I'm not one of those people, as you know, where a nominal amount is, $1,000. This is, 20, $30, maybe. Something that the vast majority of those of you watching, that most collectors could buy, and not, and they could still eat for the rest of the week. So, $20, $30 card, really low pop, really high grade. I thought it was just an interesting aspect to add to kind of the Jewish athletes PC part of things, which every once in a while, as you've seen, I do stray into. And speaking of straying into other Jews, which we've done twice outside of baseball and now 3 times outside of baseball, a little Rat Pack auto, Joey Bishop, 2012 Leaf Cut Signature Edition, number 1 of 2, Joey Bishop. And this was another thing where I wasn't looking for it, but I'd already kind of committed to buy a couple things, looked around just to see if they had anything else for inexpensive. When I say inexpensive, that's when I look for the $20 and under stuff. And surprisingly, this was one of the things that came up. So, picked up a nice Joey Bishop auto. You wouldn't know it by his stage name, but he is Jewish, or I should say he was Jewish. And so kind of adding a little bit to that kind of fringe aspect of the PC. I think that's probably the best way to put it. So that is the last card I have to show you this time around. We kind of went over many, many decades of different cards, different players, different aspects of the PC, and just a whole variety of different things. And you kind of see the stuff that does stray a little bit outside the PC, even the broadened PC. But like Kiner, that was Greenberg's student essentially, with Pittsburgh. Simmons, growing up a Phillies fan in Philly area, I would see him and hear him talk, and kind of grew up around those stories. So finding something for $8, yeah, I'll jump on that, just to have one. So again, nice little variety, stuff that's a little bit different, but it does kind of demonstrate the variety of things that I've shown over time on this channel. So hope you enjoyed a little bit of variety, not completely vintage, not completely modern, not all slabs, not all signatures, but there are aspects of all of those different things within the items I was able to pick up. So that's what I got for you this time around. Until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or a YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating. Whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more PC you'll grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.